So DJI have just released their new DJI Fly and firmware update. So in this video, I'm going to be testing it out on the DJI Mini 5 Pro and see actually, is it worth updating? So it's been a minute since I've actually flown a drone. With all of these different pocket cameras coming out, I've been really busy testing out these, and there's going to be a lot more videos coming on these as well. But I wanted to actually go and actually test the latest firmware and flight updates on the DJI Mini 5 Pro. So the latest Fly version is 1.21.4 and the RC2 firmware is version 10.0.0.700. So once you turn your drone on, you turn your controller on, you will get a notification on the screen saying there is a new DJI Fly update available. If you don't see that, what you need to do is click on Profile and then click on Settings and click Check for Firmware Update. If that still doesn't work, you need to force this RC2 into finding this. So then go to About, and then where it says here, check for update, click on that, and then this will force it and you'll see this screen. So basically what it's saying is that we're now seeing on this DJI Fly update new features for the DJI Neo 2. So that's great that the Neo 2 is getting some additional modes and features, but what about the Mini 5 Pro? And then you'll see fixes known issues, bugs. That's basically if you're having issues on your controller, your flight update. Nobody has a clue really, to be honest, but what's it like on this drone? So let's get this drone in the air and see if anything has changed, but also I'm going to go through and show you some of the settings that I actually changed straight away, the ones that you need to, because there's a lot of new people around here, and especially on that Mini 5 Pro, if you just pick this drone up, the default settings are terrible. So I'm going to go through and hopefully learn something. Let's cut to the voiceover. Okay, so let's go and test this out, DJI Mini 5 Pro on the latest DJI Fly and firmware updates. And I'm going to show you some of the settings that I use. One of the most important ones is the manual optical avoidance. These are your sensors on the drone. So why would you turn them off? Well, if you're doing more precise flying, or you might be going through tight spaces with your drone. You see, when you've got your sensors turned on, the drone will automatically move that drone to avoid the object. So for instance, as I'm getting close to this building, the sensors detect it and it will fly around it. But if you're in complete control with your sensors turned off, those sensors aren't going to allow the drone to swerve or move out of the way. So you can get some really nice, intricate shots like this with full control over that drone. But what about if you actually select it to normal or nifty? Well, nifty I don't really recommend because it actually gives you this warning message on the screen. Now it does fly more smoothly but at higher risks of collision, so I wouldn't use it. So make sure you've got it selected to normal. Let's just show you an example. So if I go towards this building now and set my sensors to be turned on under nifty, you'll see as it goes close to this building, it now swerves over it. So it looks really good. However, the problem is that it's a lot more risky, like it says in the settings. Look how close it actually gets to this building before the drone will then start to rise over. And I just think it's too risky. You know, it gets really close before it even starts to bypass it. Whereas now, under the normal mode, you'll see the drone before it gets anywhere near to it swerves around it. So have it to normal, not nifty. Now return to home, optimal or preset. So if you have a disconnect, the drone will automatically come back to you. I have it set to optimal. So now if I select return to home, the drone is going to now find the quickest route back to me, and it is so accurate now. You get this display on the screen, it will show you the route and it will change in real time. So if it detects an object coming up, it will move around it. It is fantastic. So I would say now always keep it to optimal. Now, the only slight bug I had with this firmware update was when I was actually looking at the flight protection, altitude and distance. Once I changed the distance, it actually crashed, and then I had to then go back onto this software. So don't let this freak you out. The drone stays in place. If, for instance, the controller completely turns off, it will just come back to that home point. But that's the only issue I had. I have auto power on and off turned on all the time. This is great because literally all you have to do is unfold your arms on the drone and it will turn on, so it saves you a bit of time. And then we saw this on the last update, so the aircraft LEDs. So you've got on or auto. So in some countries now they actually require you, if you're flying in low light nighttime, to have the blinking lights on. Now before, what would happen is when you started to record a video, then the lights would turn off. Now if you select that to on, they automatically stay on all the time. So that's really good. However, some countries still require you to have a more powerful strobe, so it depends where you are. And if we scroll down to advanced safety settings, just ensure that under this you have it set to signal lost. So if you lose that signal, for instance, if my controller didn't turn back on straight away, the drone will automatically come back to that home point. That's great. Now for orbits, you can use spotlight mode to get some fantastic orbits like this, but one of the default settings that I really don't like is the gain and expo tuning. So I'm going to talk about that, but first of all, let me just show you another really good piece of software. Now for drone photos, rather than traditionally editing your photo, changing the exposure, the highlights, the shadows, Luminar Neo, today's sponsor, allows you to use all of these sliders to completely enhance your photo. So you've got Accent AI, which is absolutely so powerful. It does all of that for you in one slider. You can change the look of the sky. You can even replace the sky with built-in sky replacements. So you can go from a shot like this to a real moody look, all in one button. It's so good for beginners. So you can get instantly good results. Look at this, one slider and my photo pops so much more with nice contrast and saturation. It's even got a water enhancer where I can change the color of the water. I have access to just the blues and the greens and get some fantastic drone water shots. So I'm always using this. It honestly saves me so much time in editing my drone photos. Perfect for beginners and professionals. And it's one of the best for portrait photos with some really powerful tools built in, like studio light. You can have skin smoothing, you can change eye colors, you can improve eyebrows, and this is all built in. It's a fantastic program, highly recommend it. It's available on iPhone, iPad, Apple Vision Pro, Windows, Android, and if you use a discount code DMPRO10, you also get an additional 10% off. And you don't have to subscribe to this program. It's also available as a one-time purchase. Go and check it out. So the gain and expo tuning settings, this is going to enhance how the drone flies. So by default, it is far too fast and erratic. These numbers are all over the place and really too fast, I think. You want nice, smooth, controlled motions. So I change all my values in Cine and normal to this. And I go through this in a lot more detail in my DJI Mini 5 Pro cheat sheets book and the ebook. So I'll talk about that at the end of this video. But if you want to just screenshot these are the values that I use. And then if you're going to use these, you're going to get a much smoother orbits. Just your drone flights altogether are going to look so much better than they would. Don't forget on the Mini 5 Pro, you've also got that 2x digital crop, so you can get a 40mm crop. This is going to get you closer to those objects. But honestly, just using these gain and expo settings, your drone flights are going to look great. But the gimbal motions as well, by default, they're far too fast. So you need to go and adjust these as well under gain and expo tuning. And then you can get a nice reveal shot like this without it being far too erratic, nice and smooth and controlled. Really good. Button customization, let's just see if anything new on here. It doesn't look like it. So what I have mine set at is C1 to activate cruise control. And then under the C2, I have it to switch the cameras from 1x to 2x. And this is a really good like shortcuts. I hope they do add some more things, but at the moment, that's just the same as it was before. So if you ever look now at the camera settings, I use D-Log M. It's going to protect the highlights and shadows, much more natural image that you can then color grade. I have the histogram turned on, and I also have my grid lines turned on as well. Now, really important, sharpness is far too sharp out of this drone by default. So I have mine set to -2, and I'll have noise reduction set to -1. If you don't change these settings, your footage is going to look really unnatural. I want to just check also Rocket as well. That's been playing up a bit recently and just see if this works. And you can see as it's now setting off, it's still just about locked onto this building and it's now climbing. There's no issues there. It keeps climbing and there hasn't been any problems like there was in the past. So Rocket appears to be fixed. Same with Circle. You can see it's keeping a really nice lock on this building without any issues. So quick shots are working great. You can see my battery is getting quite low, so if you just click on that icon, it shows you how much time you've got left until you'll get a forced landing, so that's good to see. Keep an eye on that. And then the bottom left hand corner where you've got your compass icon, if you just switch to the left hand side with the finger, you can go from the map and you can also see the vision assist cameras. If you click on that, you can look outside of these vision cameras, which is really good, what I spoke about before when you're doing that manual flying close to objects. You can see exactly how close you are in real time. And you can also minimize that. And then if you actually push and hold, you can drag it around and have it anywhere on the screen. So you could have your compass and that vision icon, the screen screen. It does get quite cluttered, especially on the RC2. So, but that's good to see. And then finally, a shortcut. If you just tap on the bottom right hand corner, you can get quick access to your settings, both in photos and videos. So that's a good shortcut without having to go through the menus. Overall, pretty good. So let's get this drone back to me. So if you've been having any issues with the Mini 5 Pro, I would say just go and update this. Aside from that one kind of bug and it cut out and I just restarted and everything was fine, no issues there whatsoever. Everything is working great. So if you've been having problems, then this update is for you. If not, there's no real need to update. Now, the DJI Avata 360, I did say in my review of this that it would be fantastic to get compatibility with the DJI RC Pro 2, my favorite controller. This is fantastic. Now, we're not there yet, but I think we're really close. You see, this new latest version of the DJI Fly update on the RC Pro 2, if you go to connection devices, you will now see the Avata 360 listed at the bottom. Now, I have tested this several times, but once you click on the Avata 360, it says the firmware is not currently supported. So I think at any moment, we're going to have support with the DJI Avata 360 and the RC Pro 2, just not yet. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you found this helpful. And if you want to go and check out my cheat sheet book for the Mini 5 Pro, I'll link this at the top of the description. I have it in a physical book format like this and also digital versions that get emailed to you instantly in a standard version and also a max 60-page version. And I also created a max combo, so you can get the physical book and you can also get the digital version emailed instantly to you whilst you're waiting for the book to arrive in shipping. So go and check this out if you want to go and get some more tips and tricks for your Mini 5 Pro. And I'll see you guys on the next one. If you want to watch another video from me, I'll put it up here. Take care.